we would kick off the show today with some
sports.
Only because, I mean, let me be perfectly clear. I do not follow women's basketball.
You
okay?
don't? You don't
could
watch
not
that?
follow it
No?
any less. Like if there's a way to not follow them as much as possible, I'm doing that and more. But because I am on the Twitter machine, I do see things that are trending in the world of women's basketball. And apparently Caitlin Clark, right?
Yeah,
Not Caitlin Collins.
It's Caitlin Clark. It's a totally different
Caitlin.
Caitlin. It's a different Caitlin. That Caitlin has like no lips and she looks like Dylan Mulvaney. Different Caitlin.
That's CNN Caitlin.
Right.
But the basketball player Caitlin she is getting there is so much animosity towards her because she is a white girl that it's getting out of control. So there was this clip going around on the Twitter machine of her like in the midst of a game and a referee calling a foul on her apparently. That even I, who knows nothing about basketball, let alone women's basketball, even when I saw it, I was like, seriously, they're going to call her out for this? Look at this. Look at this. And you tell me if she did anything wrong.
Oh like, my God.
What? She did nothing.
Well, she ran while being white. You can't do that in the WNBA.
You cannot do that.
You cannot dribble and also be white.
Not allowed, you guys. Not allowed.
Stop
so
it,
that's so now there's all this chitter chatter that she's, there's all kinds of racism happening in the WNBA. And it's true. And Brittney Griner, who is a dude. Okay. I fought with my husband and my son about this.
Oh my God. They don't think she's a dude?
Well, Jackson knows that this is a dude, but my husband is like, she is a girl. She was a girl in high school. She is a girl now. She's just a very masculine
Listen
girl.
To the voice alone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right. So there were some instances of her behaving really, really badly. There's one where a reporter was trying to talk to her and Brittney was coming to the reporter to talk, but then decided to like cuss out the refs. And so this is what that looked like.
By Autumn Johnson.
BG, right now you have 10 points, 5 rebounds. We see the Atlanta Dream as being very... Right now she's talking to the refs about holding.
Oh my God, that is such a dude.
We're going to send it back to you guys.
It's a total dude.
Very important question.
That is a dude.
You guys remember when Biden traded her for the Merchant of Death? Is it just me that thinks that was terrible trade? Terrible trade.
That was
everybody
remember.
God, that's a dude. It's such a dude.
Oh my God. It's such a dude. So then she was on the sidelines and she was mad. I don't know who she's mad at. She's mad at somebody white, clearly. Yeah. Because here is what she said. And it's very, very clear to anybody with eyeballs what she's saying in this moment. She says, effing trash. And then she says, I believe she says, effing white girl. Okay. So just watch her mouth because you're not gonna be able to hear her, but watch her mouth right here. I mean, I don't know about you, but it could not be clearer that she said
effing white girl. Trash, effing white girl. Can you imagine if it was the other way around and a white girl said that about a black girl?
Oh my God.
Right? The world would be exploding right now.
Yeah. And so the people that are trying, because there are people trying to defend her and they are claiming that she said effing whack call. It's just not at all what she said.
That's not what she said.
Because the difference between your mouth making the word call and girl is night and day.
Girl.
So I just, anyway,
that's know that she's a racist. She hates white people. She's a racist. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? We know that by now. Everybody knows
a racist man.
Yeah, she is a racist dude. Hello.
Anyway, there is today's commentary on sports.
There you go. There's your sports. Okay. All right, you guys, you need to give your dog some Ruff Greens.
It's this stuff right here.
They need it. You can get a free jumpster bag. Just cover shipping. You can do that at roughchicks.com. Use code chicks. Do it. Your dogs will be so happy that you did. My dogs, I locked the door, but they're probably, now that I'm doing that voice, they're going to be like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mom?
You're talking to us. Why aren't you letting us in?
You should totally do that. Also, check out our socials and all of the things at www.chicksontheright.com/links. That's where you can find all the things, chicks. Please do that and subscribe to this podcast. Have you guys clicked the subscribe button? We really, really need you to do that if you haven't done that. It would help us out tremendously. And then also tell your friends to do that. Spread the word, please. Click subscribe. Thank you.
Please, please, please. All right. So hope everybody had a lovely Memorial Day weekend. I will say, this is just a personal pet peeve of mine, but I feel like now is a good time to say it. And maybe this is just me. I have a problem with the people who have a problem with people saying expressing gratitude to veterans on Memorial Day. So people know the difference, right? Memorial Day is to honor those that fell, the fallen soldiers, and Veterans Day is to honor those who serve, you know, past and present, I suppose. But like people who get mad at folks who want to say thank you to veterans on Memorial Day, I don't understand that. I don't understand why that bothers anybody. You know what I mean?
It shouldn't bother you. No.
Like I just don't get it. Like, why not I mean, if there's an extra day of recognition for veterans who are living, like what I just don't understand why people get bent out of shape about that. That is my pet peeve.
Yeah,
so if you have a pet peeve of people going, you know, happy Memorial Day or whatever, I don't get it. I don't get why we can't be celebratory and also think about those who have fallen. Like it's all fine. You know what I mean?
These are people who are they want to be angry about stuff to be angry about stuff. Just stop it. Just stop.
I don't know.
I just
think that's weird.
No, I hear you.
Anyway, over the weekend, JD Vance and Donald Trump both gave commencement addresses, and Vance was at the Naval Academy, and he was gifted a very nice jacket. And here is what that moment looked like when they gave him his gift.
Not only as our vice president, but as a Marine, are significant. So we will keep them in our minds as we enter the fleet. On behalf of the class of 2025, I would like to present you with this gift.
It's so sweet. God bless him. He's like, I should put it on.
Put on?
You should totally put it on. I love it. Let's hope it fits.
It actually ended up being a perfect fit.
Oh my God, he put it on over he should have taken the suit jacket off. It's a lot of coats.
I love that.
I love it too. God
and JD Vance also took the time to shake the hands of over 1,000 graduates, you guys. 1,000.
Isn't that cool?
Lane M. Rivera.
God, so
Daniel
cool.
S. Kim.
I mean,
Christopher E.
that's
Robertson.
I want my
Joshua
name to be called
J.
like that.
Kim.
Hey, Robertson.
Jordan L. Sanders.
I know,
Joseph
they're so
R.
enthusiastic.
Libby.
It's like a pro wrestler
G.
being called out.
Schofield.
Imagine doing,
Cody
because I think
S.
about
Little.
us at our meet and greets, right? Where we meet
400.
400 people.
Right.
And it's a lot. Like it feels like a lot.
It is a lot. Now he just had to shake a hand of everybody, but that's
true.
1,000 people is a lot of people.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
a lot.
It's a lot, you guys. It's so many, many, many people.
Mm-hmm.
And so Trump also did the commencement address at West Point, and people got mad at him. I want to make sure that you see this meme, or not meme, but tweet. People were mad that he wore a MAGA hat. And
Why?
I don't know, but like they just wanted to pick at so many things about his speech, about the fact that he wore a MAGA hat. People just want desperately to be able to criticize him for absolutely anything.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
But he also received a gift from the West Point grads. And here is the moment that happened.
Every cadet on the field before me should savor this morning, because this is a day that you will never, ever forget. In a few moments, you'll become graduates of the most elite and storied military academy in human history, and you will become officers in the greatest and most powerful army the world has ever known.
Class of 2025 to the President.
That is so neat.
On behalf of the class of 2025, I would like to present you with this class photo as a token of appreciation for your inspiring words today. Thank you, sir.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
I love it.
What a treat for her, you know?
I know, right? That's just the coolest thing. They're also offended by everything, you know?
God.
Meanwhile, Joe Biden like fell asleep and was like looking at his watch all the time, and his foreign policy got people in the military killed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that you're offended by whatever yeah.
God, I know, it's ridiculous. And then, you know, both JD Vance's and Trump's speeches were positive. They were appropriate for commencement addresses. You're addressing a group of people who are about to make their way into the world. And so to be negative or to criticize, you know, or to politicize is just so gross. But that is what Scott Pelley did, who gave the commencement address at Wake Forest, I think it was. Was it Wake Forest? Yes. Yeah. So Scott Pelley from 60 Minutes. I mean, it's like all he could do to just not say, I hate Trump and Orange Man bad. I mean, he basically said everything but that. We'll show you just a little snippet of that, but not until we remind you that it is growing season, you guys. At fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks, you can get up to 50% off of select plants there right now. And this is for outdoors. This is for indoors. This is for fruit trees. This is for fake trees. This is for your patio. This is for inside your house to like spice it up. This is for your front porch. This is for privacy. Maybe you want to grow like something really, really tall to give yourself some privacy. Fast Growing Trees is the largest online nursery. They've got zillions of happy customers, and it's because they're so personal about the way that they make the shopping experience. So not only are you able to select where you are in the country, and they'll guide you then on what plants will grow best in your area, but you have them on speed dial, essentially, if you have questions about how to plant, where to plant, you know, how to take care of your plants after they're planted. They've got awesome service people who will help answer all of your questions. They just make everything so easy, even for people who have no idea what they're doing. Case in point.
No idea. I have roses in my backyard. I'm like, how are they alive? They're beautiful. I haven't done anything to them.
That's
Nothing.
amazing.
I know, right?
They are a phenomenal place to get your plants, shrubs, bushes, trees, fruit trees, everything, flowers from. You can go to fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks. And again, in addition to that 50% off of some of the plants that they have at fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks, you can get an extra 15% off if it's your first purchase when you use code CHICKS. Back to Scott Pelley. Scott Pelley was a negative Nancy. Here is just a taste.
The fear to speak in America.
Oh my God, calm down.
Power can rewrite history with grotesque, false narratives. They can make criminals heroes and heroes criminals. Power can change the definition of the words we use to describe reality. Diversity is now described as illegal. Equity is to be shunned. Inclusion is a dirty word. This is an old playbook, my friends. There's nothing new in this.
I'd be like, I'm not your friend, first of all.
So dramatic.
Somebody said that they should name the school Woke Forest for doing this. and he absolutely loves himself, doesn't he? Like, what a self-centered jerk this guy is to do a graduation speech when, listen, you know that there are a lot of people in that audience who are, in fact, conservative, who paid to go to that school, or their parents paid for them to go to that school. They're listening at their graduation, which is supposed to be a very happy time for them. And they had to listen to that bullshit. I mean, think about it.
Right.
I'd be sitting in that audience, or if I were a parent, I'd be like, are you kidding me with this? I mean, come on. And it was all about him. It wasn't about those kids. It was about him and how he feels about things. And so he's like projecting all that onto, it's like, dude, know your audience. Like that's the first rule of comms. Is to know who your audience is and then act accordingly. And he didn't do that. He didn't do that at all. It was so self-centered.
And just so negative. I mean, that's the last thing that you want in a commencement address. These people are just wrecked by Trump.
They're
wrecked. Just wrecked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
He lives rent-free in their brains.
Late last week, Trump decided to tweet out that he was going to impose, I think it was like a 50% tariff on the EU because they had not come to an agreement. And then yesterday, he said on Twitter, I received a call today from Ursula von der Leyen, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, president of the European Commission, requesting an extension on the June 1st deadline on the 50% tariff with respect to trade in the European Union. I agreed to the extension to July 9th. It was my privilege to do so. The Commission president said that talks will begin rapidly. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Your favorite, I swear.
So, he says the things, then the people get freaked, and then they're like, oh, I guess we need to come to the table, which is exactly what he wants. And
and they're doing it.
So we'll see what happens. Now we're just waiting to see what happens with the big, beautiful bill, because we know that last week it passed through the House, and now we're waiting to see what happens in the Senate. Democrats are still trying to fearmonger about, cuts to Medicaid and all this nonsense.
Surprise.
And they're trying to say that the CBO has said that it is not going to reduce the deficit in the way that it should. Scott Bessent was on a talk show over the weekend to say, listen, this is what's really happening. We are going to grow our way out of the mess that Biden left for us. Here is Scott Bessent.
You're referring to the CBO scoring, I believe, which is tenure scoring, and it's DC style scoring. So we think that we can both grow the economy and control the debt. And what's important, Bill, is that the economy grows faster than the debt. So what I would tell your viewers to focus on is what I'm focused on, is what Secretary Yellen was focused on, is what is the total debt to GDP? Because we can grow our way out of this. That if we change the growth trajectory of the country, of the economy, then we will stabilize our finances and grow our way out of this.
God, how can you not see how much better he is than Yellen?
Oh my God, it's night and day.
It is, right? It's exponentially better than that little bridge troll on shrooms.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good. He is just one of the best picks that Trump has made. He's so good. And Michael Johnson, Speaker Johnson, was on with Jake Tapper to talk about all these rumors going around that there's these huge cuts to Medicaid, Medicare. He's sick and tired of this. He's trying to get the message across that this is not accurate. Here he
They're
is.
not cutting Medicaid in this package. There's a lot of misinformation out there about this, Jake. The numbers of Americans who are affected are those that are entwined in our work to eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse. And what do I mean by that? You got more than 1.4 million illegal aliens on Medicaid. Medicaid is not intended for non-U.S. citizens. It's intended for the most vulnerable populations of Americans, which is pregnant women and young single mothers, the disabled, the elderly. They are protected in what we're doing because we're preserving the resources for those who need it most. You're talking about 4.8 million able-bodied workers, young men, for example, who are on Medicaid and not working. They are choosing not to work when they can. That is called fraud. They are cheating the system. When you root out those kinds of abuses, you save the resources that are so desperately needed by the people who deserve it and need it most. That's what we're doing.
Jake Tapper's going to be like, that's not happening. And then in 3 years, he's going to be like, I'm going to write a book on how it happened. Jerk.
I know. God.
I can't
I know.
him.
I'm sick of his face.
I
So
hate his face too. I can't even look at it. I have to like block it out. I can't.
But I don't know what's going to happen in the Senate because there are a group of Republican senators who are saying we are going to sink this thing. And so it's not enough. You know, I always go back to the ice cream analogy. You wanted 2 scoops of ice cream, you're handed a scoop and you turn it down because it's not 2 scoops. I feel like that's what Republicans in the Senate are doing. Yep. Here is Ron Johnson to basically brag about how they may put a stop to this entire thing.
If you could just give me a number, how many other Republican senators do you think share your concerns and are willing to work to make major changes to this bill?
I think we have enough to stop the process until the president gets serious about spending reduction and reducing the deficit.
Okay. So we're just, okay. Again, I'm just like, they're trying to do everything they can in this bill to reduce costs and allow it to pass through a very narrow majority. They squeak it through by the skin of their teeth. And now they've got Republicans in the Senate going, not good enough. Not good enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
God, it makes me so mad.
I loathe so many people in our party.
Right?
I do. I do. I can't help it, but I loathe so many of the people that represent us that it's just, it's so difficult sometimes to be on our side. Cause it's like, do you not, you know, we're like, we need better people on our side, you know?
Yeah, it is super, super frustrating. If you're listening and not watching the show right now, then you're missing out on a meme of Bernie Sanders, like copied and pasted over and over again into the same photo. And it says group photo of everyone Bernie Sanders has lifted out of poverty.
I got 4 homes. I have 4
just
homes.
him. It's just him, you guys.
It's just me. I'm no longer in poverty. I lived in my parents' basement for like 40 years. And now I suck money from you.
And he's got a lot of homes, but he hates those billionaires, you guys.
I hate
those
them.
Billionaires
with a B. Not
right.
with an
Millionaires.
M. They're okay.
Millionaires are fine.
They're okay because I am one. They're okay.
You guys, if you are interested in freshening up your house and specifically your windows, I know Daisy's looking into getting some new blinds.
I need them for the master bedroom. Very excited about this because you can order everything online. You give them the measurements. They send them to you. Everything is like really great. I know you had a friend that used blinds.com too.
Yeah. In fact, I watched her do it because she was actually doing the choosing of all the things online at my house. And she was like, yeah, she was like, I hope I'm doing this right. But essentially they will give you, instead of having you wait at home for somebody to come to your house and like bring samples to you, you can do everything virtually. So you're not given somebody's going to be to your house between 8 and 4. You know what I mean? And you're just a prisoner in your own house. They have virtual design consultations, which are great. And then they can also, if you're worried about doing your own measurements, they can send out a professional measuring person to help you. And they'll send you samples upon samples to look at home. They make everything so easy at blinds.com. And so, you know, this is designer quality window treatments. This is bamboo shades. This is shutters. This is regular blinds. This is mechanical blinds. These are the honeycomb blinds. Whatever you want to help elevate your space, they've got at blinds.com. And you can get $50 off of your blinds.com order of $500 or more when you use code CHICKS at blinds.com. Check them out. Blinds.
Do it.
All right. We need to talk also about this ridiculous new program, for lack of a better word. I'm not sure if that's the best way to describe it. Lawrence Jones on Fox is about to tell you about what Democrats are doing to try to figure out why so many young men have turned away from the Democrat Party. And so they've got this whole new program set up. Lawrence Jones has a little bit of trouble in this particular segment saying words. You know how sometimes like you'll just not be able to talk for whatever reason?
Yeah, that happens quite a bit. It sucks when you do what we do, it kind of sucks when that happens, but yes.
And then I end up going like this at y'all, be like, what's
that word? How's that word?
But he has some trouble with this segment. I don't know why he had so much trouble, but he has some trouble. But in any case, he's the one that you're going to be hearing about this program from. Take a listen to Lawrence right here.
Puts it this way: the prospectus for one new $20 million effort obtained by the Times aims to reverse the erosion of Democratic support among young men, especially online. It is codenamed Sam Short for Speaking American Men, a strategic plan and promises an investment to study the syntax, language, and content. So incredible. The content that can gain attention and virality in these spaces. It recommends buying advertisement and video games, among other things. Above all, we must shift from a more moralizing tone. It urges.
He was having a little
trouble. But $20 million Democrats are going to spend to try to figure out, why is it that we turned so many young men away? And so I love this tweet
my God.
from John Hassan, who was like, Dems say working out is right wing. Liking hot girls is right wing. Eating red meat is right wing. And now today they're saying we need $20 million to understand why young men hate us.
It's not, they've just demonized men forever.
Oh my
They
God.
basically said
Over
men
and over.
Men are the problem. The patriarchy is the problem. Men suck. Men suck. Men suck. What do you think they're gonna do? This is, and now it cost you guys. Just give us the 20 million. I'll take it. I'll tell you why.
Right?
Give me the 20 million. I could use it. These people are just, I wonder, like, what do
I
they
know.
do? Who is running things over there? David Hogg.
Well, right
That's
now it's David Hogg.
David Hogg. That's right. It's David Hogg. He's running it. And he, in fact, is not a man. So,
well, and as a lot of people have pointed out, the problem with Democrats is that they're so painfully inauthentic. Like, they just keep trying to be all these different things that they're just not. And the reason that so many men have, come over to the GOP and particularly have become MAGA supporters is that Trump is as authentic a person as a person can be. You don't get more authentic.
Oh yeah, he's totally authentic. And I think that men, at least right-wing men, are looking for somebody to look at, to emulate, and they like that. They like Trump. I'm super excited for my daughter. We were talking about this the other day, and I'm like, so many guys that are your age are right-wing. That's awesome. And that's great for you. You're not going to go to college one day and have a bunch of freaking soy boys to choose from. I think that's a very promising thing as a woman who has a daughter of that age.
Yes.
I think it's great.
Yeah, because, hopefully there's not going to be as many Macrons for her to deal with. And there's going to be lots more Trumpy people. Speaking of Macron, guys, I'm sure you've seen by now that he got walloped in the face by his own wife getting off of a plane. And we've got some angles of this because there's so much going on in this particular clip. First, you're going to see in like actual real time what happened because you just see a fist or like a hand of hers come out and grab him, punch him in the chin. And so here's what it looked like at normal speed. It's something. So this is right when he's getting off the plane. Oh, there she goes. And he's like, hey, I know everybody's looking at me. Yikes. He goes and has a little chat.
And then he says, calm down, honey.
He's trying to calm down. And then they emerge together. He kind of even sticks his arm out for her, and she just does not
I don't want
grab
to.
it.
She doesn't, but I mean, we all know that's a man, right? Again, it's a man. And also, isn't her hitting him? Isn't that that's child abuse, right? Because what is she, like 40 years older than him?
She's 25 years older.
Oh, okay, I was close.
But it's significant because she's now 72, he is 47.
Wow.
Which sounds more significant when you actually say the ages. But we've got another close-up angle, and then it also turns into a slow-mo angle. But what I also want you to notice is that one of I don't know if she's a flight attendant, I don't know who she is, but there's another woman that comes off of the plane, and the shoulder of her uniform has been ripped off and she looks to be bleeding. I don't know if I'm just making that up, but that's what it looks like to me. So again, lots of stuff going on when you slow this down. Check it out. Look at her shoulder. Did you see that? Oh my
God, her shoulder is a mess.
That's what I'm saying. So
Play
here's
it again.
slow-mo.
Can we play it again? Okay.
And then her shoulder.
What in the world?
I don't know.
What is going on that?
And then he holds out his arm, and she just was like, he's kind of putting it out for her, and she wants nothing to do with it. He's still got it out there for her, and then he's like,
so bad. All of it is so bad.
And then he made the excuse that this was somehow just playful music.
Oh yeah, they said it was playful. They said it was like all playful, and they were having laughs and harmless. They said it was just harmless. Yeah, it's not that. But man, I had not seen the shoulder of that other.
And
woman.
I don't even know what that was about. I have no idea. But his exact quote he said, "There's a video showing me joking and teasing my wife, and somehow that becomes a sort of geoplanetary catastrophe with people even coming up with theories to explain it."
do you do that to your husband? Because I don't do that to my husband.
It's not something we do when we're getting off planes.
No.
It's not our routine.
I just don't do that. I don't shove my husband in the face like that. I mean, listen, we will verbally spar once in a while, like, and have fun with each other. I don't like hit him in the face. Like, that's not something that we do. I can smell the soy from that video from him.
That's the thing.
And also, that is a bad wig. The wig on her. Such a dude, you guys, such a dude. But it's like that is she needs to take care of that. She needs to take care of it.
It's become kind of ridiculous.
It's become problematic. It has.
Don't you think?
Maybe that's why on the plane she was like lashing out at the stewardess and stuff. My wig.
And it was just so funny that, like, immediately, as soon as her hand hit his face, he immediately turns to the press and is like,
everything's fine.
Everything's great.
Great. She doesn't beat me behind closed doors. No.
I mean, you guys, she seduced him when he was like 15 years old.
Right.
So she's obviously always been the one that has had the power in that relationship.
There's an authority position there.
Definitely.
And she is in an authority position.
Yeah.
She's pulling the strings, right? Gross.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. Also meant to mention this at the top of the show, and that is that there was this crazy, I don't want to call it a terrorist attack yet, but if you saw the Liverpool soccer team celebrating in the UK, millions of people took to the streets, and then there was a car that ran over like a whole bunch of people. 40 something people were injured. Right. Thankfully, no one has died. And they arrested a 53-year-old white man for doing this. Now, the reason I'm not calling it a terror attack yet is because there's still so many conflicting narratives floating around about this story, because there are some from some video angles, it looks like absolutely he ran for people. Like he was in the car gunning to like run over people. But then in other videos, it looks like he's a driver just trying to get down the street. And then for some reason, all these people start attacking his car and he's desperate to get away. I don't know what the real story is. Obviously, we've got to wait for the police interrogation and then for the police to tell us what they learn. But it's, that was horrible to witness. The videos of it are too awful to play. But there's a bunch of them going around on social media right now. And a lot of people, before they arrested this white man, who, by the way, it took them about 40 seconds to announce that it was a white man, because initially when it happened, everyone was like, that's got to be a terrorist attack because the UK is overrun by Muslims. Right. And so that was where people's head went. And then, of course, the police came out instantaneously to say, no, this is a white guy. So I don't know what the motive was. No idea. But that's not going to stop us from having a segment right now about the fact that we are bigoted against Muslims.
Right.
I'm just going to say it. I'm at this point, they want to take over the world, and it's a problem, you guys.
It's the long game. They're playing the long game.
game.
They've been playing the long game forever. You know what I watched this weekend? I was telling you in pre-show, Patriots Day. You guys ever seen that movie, Patriots Day? Mark Wahlberg. It was about the Boston Marathon bombing. And remember Joker? We've talked about that like on the air, and like that kid who it's kind of like the kid who just gunned down that piece of crap who just gunned down the insurance dude, you know, and they deify him, you know, the people on the left deify him. Remember when that Joker scumbag piece of crap was put on the cover of Rolling Stone? Do you remember when that happened?
I do.
I could not. I mean, for those of us who lived through 9/11, it was just, I could not believe that happened. You know, I couldn't believe that I was living in a world where they were deifying that piece of crap who did that in Boston.
Yeah.
You know? And so anyway, they're playing the long game.
And they're so very open about it. And now granted, there's going to be people who are like, not all Muslims. I get it. I get that there are a lot of peaceful Muslims who just simply want to practice their faith and be left alone. However, I maintain, and I've said this for years, that those are the people that are practicing it wrong. I just don't think that they're practicing it the way that what we call the radical Islamists practice it, by following the letter of every word and practicing it to its logical conclusion.
Right. They're the ones who eat bacon and smoke cigars.
Right. Exactly.
They do like Islam light, you know, and they're like, I'm Islamic. Look at me. I'm cool. It's like, well, you're not doing it correctly.
Yeah. And the ones that are doing it correctly are the radicals. And that's what is so alarming. And it's what makes me feel so bigoted whenever I see some of the videos that we're about to show you. But before we show you those, we want to make sure that if you are struggling with debt right now, that you know you have a way out. There are strategists with gobs of experience handling people's debt and getting them debt free at donewithdebt.com. And so you can talk to one of their strategists for free if you're getting collections notices, or if you're getting calls from maybe the IRS or other, you know, maybe it's hospitals that are coming to collect medical bills. If you are under and you're feeling like you're drowning in debt and you need help, there's no shame in that. You just need to get yourself some help with one of the really good strategists at donewithdebt.com. They've helped a lot of people. They can even help to the point where you've got money that you can actually start to invest. And so it's important that you don't do anything like drastic, like don't file for bankruptcy. Make that a last resort option. Talk to the folks with Done with Debt first, because they can really, really help you. It's donewithdebt.com. All right. So there was a story that came out that there was this guy, Joseph Neumeyer, who back in March said, "Death to Trump, death to America." He was arrested at JFK for planning to firebomb the U.S. Embassy outpost in Tel Aviv. And he's the one that posted "Death to Trump, death to America." The pro-Palestinian people right now they've now been, I mean, on campuses and elsewhere, they've protested to the point where it's become normalized for this kind of Jew hatred to exist. And that's when it gets really, really scary, because now they feel like they're untouchable. And we've made them that way. The campuses have made them that way. There's very little consequence for these people that are, you know, spouting off really violent rhetoric and then being super destructive on campuses. I mean,
it's not just Jew hatred, it's America hatred.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. It's like seeping into that. And it's just unacceptable to me.
And then people get more bent out of shape worrying about, oh my gosh, people are going to get so bigoted against Islam. That's the worry. And it actually is coming, like, it's Norm Macdonald joked about this back in the day, and it's actually happening now with the New York Times. So Norm Macdonald said forever ago, "What terrifies me is if ISIS were to detonate a nuclear device and kill 50 million Americans, imagine the backlash against peaceful Muslims."
I miss him.
I know, right? And he was joking, but look at the New York Times. The New York Times is now saying pro-Palestinian movement faces an uncertain path after the embassy attack.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're worried about. That's freaking insane.
It's
you
nuts.
guys.
It's totally nuts. Yeah. I mean, I just look at the UK.
Yeah.
And I see what's happening in the UK and I'm like, man, it's going to start happening here. And people will be like, how did this happen?
Right. And they'll be all surprised, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is how it happens.
And they've been telling us this forever. So here's a clip from a Muslim. I don't know if he's like a cleric or just like a regular dude. This is in Dearborn Heights, Michigan. And this is just a few months ago. They're very, very clear about what the goals are, you guys. You just need to listen to them.
The message for the people of Gaza is going to be more of the message that should be sent to the people here, in that they have achieved victory. We haven't done anywhere near enough. And the people here, I promise you, we do feel ashamed. We do feel like we're not doing enough. We do feel like change needs to come, because change must come. And in the form that it must come is that this empire, the American empire that's been hurting our people since the beginning, the imperial Western powers that have been hurting our people since the beginning, they must fall. And inshallah they will fall. And my message to the people of Gaza and the oppressed peoples across the world is that there are people here, both young and old, who are going to be willing to fight and are willing to put their lives and everything they can on the line to bring these empires down, because they must come down. So
F that.
Right?
F that.
I know. I mean, that, oh my gosh, hearing this kind of stuff, it just makes me so angry.
I know.
But it's like, this is now, it's spreading. I mean, yes, Governor Abbott in your state was like, nah, these like giant Islam cities, not going to happen in my state,
but
which is great.
Elsewhere. It's happening.
Yeah, but it's happening elsewhere. And it's an insidious, festering cancer that is growing. And it's not just about like, sometimes I worry that Christians feel somehow exempt from this because they're not Jewish, and it's Jews are the target, right? Like Judaism is the target. It's not.
No,
that's just the first group to eliminate.
Yeah, they hate Jews, but they hate Christians just as much. And I think that's the thing. They think, oh, we can just be benevolent. This is great. They love us. No, they don't. They don't love you. They don't love you, Candace. This is the thing. I don't understand. I don't understand why people think that they do, because they don't. Because it's kind of like the video that you just showed. They say exactly what they want to do. They say it out loud. So
all the time.
This isn't hard. Just open your eyes.
Yeah. And resist, because the problem is that there is unfortunately strength in numbers, and they're the ones that are having the babies. And we're going to hear a clip of that in just a second. But first, you talked about the UK. It's obviously a huge, huge problem. But this, again, has been talked about by the radical clerics there for years.
To tell you that Islam and the Sharia is unstoppable in Europe.
Stoning for adultery, cutting off hands for stealing, death for renouncing Islam. This group of men is trying to enforce Sharia law in the UK. They've started a campaign to make certain areas of London and other cities Islamic law-controlled zones, starting with Walthamstow, East London. They want to ban drinking, gambling and playing music. And they say they've got bands of young men ready to patrol and enforce Sharia law by any means.
Yeah, by any means. So speaking of Patriots Day, you know how I told you I watched that movie over the weekend. So the older dude who basically was run over by his brother with the car, and then he ended up dying. He has a wife, or he had a wife before he died and met his 18,000 virgins or whatever. But he, but
72. They only get 72.
I'm sorry. They only have 72. But his wife is she in essence is like an American. She was like a Christian that converted to Islam and married him, and they had a daughter. And in the movie, and you know, in life, some people think that she knew exactly what those boys were doing. I think she knew exactly what those boys were doing. She's living in New Jersey with that girl. You know, it's like she's with that family. She's still, it's like, so she doesn't live with her family. She lives with that family, and she's still out doing the things, you know? So how is that okay? You know?
Yeah, it's actually truly terrifying, because you know, it's easy to look at the UK and be like, oh well, they've screwed themselves and that sucks for them, right? But when you hear about it in Dearborn, or when you hear, for example, that 80% of the Belgian population right now is not Belgian, like It's all imported people. You know what I mean?
What the heck?
That's freaking crazy. And it's everywhere. So it's hard to see it as anything other than by design, that this is a world takeover, that is the goal.
Absolutely by design. It's absolutely, and like I always say, I will say it a million times. It is they will, if it takes them hundreds and hundreds of years, it is the long game. They are in it for the long haul. They're going to do whatever it takes to take everything over. And the United States, it is part of the plan. Oh, hell
no. And it's happening. And we've got these idiot college kids who are buying into all of it and wearing their keffiyehs and all the nonsense. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, how did this happen so quickly? Oh my God.
It's like, I'm a feminist, but I love Sharia law. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. They have no idea what they're doing. None.
And here is what, here's another fellow just saying exactly what the plan is in Canada.
Couple in Palestine, sir. What would happen to a gay couple in Gaza? Executed according to Islamic law. Islam doesn't endorse gayism. Islam doesn't endorse homosexuality. Just like Canada doesn't endorse a lot of things. So would you like to see Sharia law in Canada replace Canadian law? At some point it will. Because we have families, we are making babies. You're not. Wow. Your population is going down the slum, right? And by 2060, according to Pew Research Institute, your research, by 2060, Muslims will be the biggest religious group the world over. What are you going to do then? Actually, are you going to oppose Sharia even then? Well, you know what? I'm very appreciative of the honesty. We don't usually get that. One day we can have a Muslim majority nation here in Canada, right in your face.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, I mean, he's saying very clearly, this is what's up. And we're morons if we don't listen, if we don't actually pay attention.
And leadership in Canada is like, that's fine, because if we say otherwise, then somehow we're going to be called bigots or Islamophobic or whatever. So we're just going to go ahead and let that happen. Okay. All right. And people are saying, I saw somebody here say, this is never going to happen in the United States, chicks, LOL.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
You don't see what's happening on college campuses now?
Right. Then how has it happened in the UK? How is it happening in Canada? I mean, if you don't fight back against it, if you're not cognizant of what's happening, then yes, it can absolutely happen here. It's already happening in some states, in some cities, in some states.
You're about to see a couple clips, one about how these groups are just buying up churches and converting them into mosques. And then you're also going to see students for Palestine, like the Students for Justice of Palestine, or whatever those groups are called, how the goal is not to just, to seek Palestinian liberation or whatever, but to actually end America as we know it. And some of these are American kids saying this. They've bought in, and it's absolutely terrifying. Take a look.
A gay couple.
We are buying these churches. We bought 3 churches so far, converted them to masjids, and now we have one we are buying with a school to make it, because we have to serve the same people. The people who were part of that community, one day they will be Muslims.
So we see this existential connection between the Palestinian students movement and the political prisoners. So the Palestinian student, the day after of Oslo, they changed their activism from the campus to the armed struggle. If Palestine is liberated, this means this is a nail to dismantle the United States of America.
We know it's a victory when a red triangle goes above an Israeli soldier's head and the pig gets iced. Like, we know that's a victory. We know it's a victory when prisoners break out. We know it's a victory when all these things happen. But a lot of people don't necessarily know that. And it's not their fault they don't know that. It's our fault.
We will free Mumia because it is our job to destroy imperialism, destroy the United States, and destroy capitalism and the system of extraction that it relies on to perpetuate itself. And we will do it by organizing in a manner that actively undermines and destabilizes the legitimacy and the power of the state and the power and legitimacy of capitalism.
This is what happens when you tell kids to hate their country. This is what happens. Yeah. And this, I mean, seriously, this happened. What is it? It started, I mean, at least for me, I feel like it started around like 2007, 2008. That's when I think that the shit really hit the fan. Like kids, seriously, that's when the brainwashing, it probably started well before then, but the brainwashing really took hold. And it just, Obama was like such a huge part of that. You know, your country sucks. Your country sucks. It's not worth fighting for. It's not, it's just, this is the thing. I just remember that's why you and I started Chicks on the Right, is because there was such a narrative of America sucks, America sucks. No, it doesn't. What are you doing? What's happening? Oh my gosh. You know, we had never heard that sort of rhetoric before, at least as abundantly as we were hearing it then. And this is the result. I think this is the result of it, is that kids take it for granted. I mean, they really take this country for granted. So many of these kids, they're so lost. And when you're lost, you will listen to anybody who tells you, oh, this will save you. That ain't going to save you.
Or when you're lost and poor and you're struggling as a college student and you've got someone saying, if you wear this scarf and protest, we're going to give you $1,000. Here's all you need to say. Here's your sign. And then it's easy to just get immersed and start buying in, because this is the people that are being nice to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
They
so
prey.
easy.
They prey on them. They prey on people who are weak, and they're weak.
These are people who definitely don't eat steak. I can tell you that right now.
But that
And
one
you
guy
should.
The one guy with the covering, the face covering, definitely didn't eat steak.
Definitely does not eat steak, but you should. And of course, if you have a dad in your life that you're looking for something for Father's Day, you cannot go wrong with omahasteaks.com. Everybody loves a gift box from omahasteaks.com. And you can go to omahasteaks.com right now. Give your dad or the dad in your life the world's best steak experience. You can use promo code CHICKS at omahasteaks.com for an extra $35 off. We had sirloins last night. Thanks to my husband.
I got chicken. I mean, I know that's like a lot of people don't order chicken from them, but I do. And I love their chicken breasts. Yeah. So
yeah. Great chicken breast, amazing pork chops, and amazing seafood. You wouldn't necessarily expect that from omahasteaks.com, but the seafood is amazing. The sides, are you kidding me? So good. Check it all out at omahasteaks.com and get that extra $35 off with promo code CHICKS. Do it. One person who is on the left, but who has been reliably anti-Islam and has articulated why you should be very, very well, is actually Bill Maher.
Yeah.
And he talked about how dangerous of a religion it is for women, and how you would think that all the feminists out there would be more worried about that than they are about the, trans people in sports. And so here he is talking about what Islam means for women and how it absolutely dehumanizes them in so many ways. Here's
Yasmin Mohammed is a human rights activist who got married off to a Muslim man with fundamentalist views about women, not exactly uncommon in the Muslim world. He forced her to wear the niqab all the time, including once beating her because she took her hijab off at home because the apartment had a window through which people might see in. And this was in Vancouver. Here's what Yasmin said about veiling. It just suppresses your humanity entirely. It's like a portable sensory deprivation chamber, and you are no longer connected to humanity. You can't see properly. You can't hear properly. You can't speak properly. People can't see you. You can only see them. Just little things, passing people on the street and just making eye contact and smiling, that's gone. You're no longer part of this world. And so you very quickly just shrivel up into nothing under there. Kids, if you really want to change the world and not just tie up Monday morning traffic, this is the apartheid that desperately needs your attention.
Yes.
Gender apartheid. This is what should be the social justice issue of your time. How about from the river to the sea, every woman shall be free?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Like there are not enough yeses to that. This is the thing. Women can't do crap in that religion. They can't. And I don't understand these women on the left who are like, oh my God, the Handmaid's Tale with Trump. And then they'll embrace this. What is that?
They're so dumb. They're just so dumb and ignorant.
Is it just that how can you be so blind to wear the scarf around your, like, I don't understand. And then say that Trump is somehow trying to oppress you. What? What is even happening?
Yeah. I mean, I have some level, I guess, of tolerance, for the kind of headscarf that you're allowed to have your face exposed, right? But when I see the giant robes with the face coverings and all of this, with the slit, I have a visceral reaction. Like I'm immediately angry and just, I have so much hatred for any culture that would force that upon women.
Yep.
It's just vile. It's
Absolutely.
vile.
And I tell my daughter too, I'm like, no part of that. I will never travel to any part of the world that has that. I won't be a part of it. There are places in the world where my husband's like, I would love to go to so-and-so place. I'd love to go here. I'd love to go there. I mean, like Dubai, what a beautiful place, right? Wouldn't it be neat to go there? Like, I'm not going there. I'm not going to any of those places. I'm not going any there because women are treated like absolute garbage. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It's so icky. Now, I know we've shown this clip of Bill Maher before, but it was pretty recent, and I thought it was worth showing again, given the context of this whole segment. And that is when he schooled Sunny Hostin on The View about Israel's defense of itself against Gaza. And she was trying, man, but he absolutely schooled her, and it was glorious, and it's worthy of sharing again.
Civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women. And are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a war.
Why?
It's a war. Because it's a war, and they were attacked, and they're defending themselves. Now, this is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed? This is the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So how can we do that with a ceasefire?
All right. So Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means. Okay? And they say it very openly. They said, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community, and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that. I assume the Israeli Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh my God.
I love that.
Sunny. I would have loved to know what she said to that. Probably nothing.
I think she did that thing where she was like,
yeah, whatever, Bill. This is my show. Can I talk? Can I talk? God, it's true. Like, stop doing it. And he's so right. They could literally be this paradise at this point, but they've chosen to be a complete crap hole.
And it's just, it's all fueled by hate. And that's what they're the ones, I think. I know Bill Maher calls them fundamentalist viewing of Islam or whatever, but they're the ones that are going by the book, you guys.
Well,
that's why I have such bigotry.
And no wonder
I just do.
No wonder so many liberals identify with that.
Yeah.
It's because they are so fueled by hate and they can't see anything else. And so liberals are automatically just attracted to that. Like attracts like.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The reason for my name today is obviously because of Vladimir Putin. Trump is mad at him, you guys. So there's a tweet that I'm going to need you to read.
Oh, yay. I've always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He has gone absolutely crazy. He is needlessly killing a lot of people. And I'm not just talking about soldiers. Missiles and drones are being shot into cities in Ukraine for no reason whatsoever. I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it. And maybe that's proving to be right. But if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia. Likewise, President Zelensky is doing his country no favors by talking the way that he does. Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it, and it better stop. This is a war that would have never started if I were president. This is Zelensky's, Putin's, and Biden's war, not Trump's. I am only helping to put out the big and ugly fires that have been started through gross incompetence and hatred.
And he was on the tarmac and also had similar sentiments to say to the reporters about Putin. Here he is.
Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it. That's all I have to say.
He doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it. So what do all the lefties do about that? Because they're always like, oh, Trump is in bed with Putin. He's Putin's bitch. I mean, what do they do with that? Because he's not Putin's bitch. He's not. I mean, that just that proves
I mean,
that
I think what they say, and they are right to some extent, is that this is exactly who Putin has always been. Like, he's always been a cold-blooded killer, and there should be no surprise about that. So I think Trump may have overestimated his influence over Putin, and I think that's a legit thing that critics can say. I don't know why he's surprised. Like, this is Putin. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's Vladimir Putin. He's the worst of the worst.
I hear you. Or, maybe he does have something in his sleeve where he feels like he can negotiate something with him. I don't know. Maybe because it's like he said, I'm not going to tell them everything. I'm not going to tell you everything. You're the fake news. Maybe there's something that he's going to, I don't know. I'm not sure. But I still feel like there's hope for him trying to work. If anybody can help work things out, it's him.
He's the only one.
He's the only one. Yeah. I mean, Biden was good at starting them. I mean, if there's anybody that could help get these people out of a war, because they both suck. I mean, I don't like Zelensky or Putin. I think they both absolutely suck. I'm pissed off that we gave Zelensky all the money that we did. I don't like either one of them, but if he can help get us out of it, he's the only one that can do it. He's the only one capable of even remotely trying to get us out of any sort of situation that we're even involved in.
No, you're absolutely right. I hope you've got your glasses on tight, because you're going to have to read another tweet of his. And this was his memorial. This was his Memorial Day message, and a lot of people are not particularly happy with it.
Yeah, they weren't.
It's hard to read because it's all caps. So definitely have your best glasses on for this.
All right. Happy Memorial Day to all, including the scum that spent the last 4 years trying to destroy our country through warped radical left minds who allowed 21 million people to illegally enter our country, many of them being criminals and the mentally insane, through an open border that only an incompetent president would approve, and through judges who are on a mission to keep murderers, drug dealers, rapists, gang members, and release prisoners from all over the world in our country so they can rob, murder, and rape again. All protected by these USA-hating judges who suffer from an ideology that is sick and very dangerous for our country. Hopefully, the United States Supreme Court and other good and compassionate judges throughout the land will save us from the decisions of the monsters who want our country to go to hell. But fear not. We have made great progress over the last 4 months, and America will soon be safe and great again. Happy Memorial Day, and God bless America.
I didn't love that. I got to say, I did not love it at all.
I was okay with it. I saw so many, like I have a friend who has like turned major TDS in the past year. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but he was so upset by this, and he was, making fun of it. And all of his liberal friends were chiming in about the tweet over the weekend. And I mean, it's offensive, I guess, to these people, but where were they when Biden was looking at his watch and his foreign policy killed 13 soldiers? It's like, where were they when all that happened? I just feel like in the grand scheme of the entire weekend and all of the things that Trump did to honor our military, this did not bother me, because who does it offend, really? I wasn't offended by it because everything that he said was true. Everything.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I think you're absolutely right that in context of his full weekend activities, that's fine. You know what I mean? On its own, if people didn't pay attention to all of the things that he did, you know, all the things that he did to honor the fallen, on its own, it seems bad, right? But in context, it's just like a stream of consciousness tweet from Trump, which he often does. People were like, is that all he did for Memorial Day? Well, of course, no, it's not.
God, he did so much stuff for Memorial Day. He did so much. Recruitment is up. Like, recruitment is way up. It wasn't like this when Biden was in office. I mean, there's a reason for that. So I don't know. I'm not in the military. I'm not. There's not anybody in my family who's in the military. I do happen to be around a lot of military people because of the area that I live in. And I can tell you that I don't think that I'm not going to speak for them, but I don't think that they were super upset by that. I know that they feel like they're supported by this president more so than they were by the past president. I mean, I feel strongly about that. I really do. I think that they would agree with me when I say that he does support them more than that walking cadaver did. So
I think, you know, probably if I were advising him, which of course I'm not, I would have said, hey, how about just a tweet that says, on this day, we remember the sacrifice that so many of our members of the military made to support and to honor our, you know, to keep us free. And then separately, write all of that exact same stuff. But the fact that it started out as a happy Memorial Day and here's my rant for the day, that's the only thing I would have said. Can you just maybe just remember what the day is about and then say all the other stuff in a separate tweet?
I hear you. I hear you. But then there's also a part of me, I'm going to push back though, because I feel like there's also a part of me that the people that fought and died for this country didn't fight and die for the things that Biden represented.
Definitely not.
They fought and they died for the things that this president represents. And that is America freaking first.
Yes.
And that is why I'm not offended by that tweet. I'm not. And I don't think that the people who went and fought and died for our country would be offended by that tweet. I just don't think that they would be. And so anybody who's offended by that tweet needs to get a bigger spine. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I would not say I was offended by it. I'm just saying this is how I would have coached him to do.
He's never been appropriate. He's never been politically correct. I don't want him to be. I want him to be the guy who he is, which is America
authentic.
First.
He is authentically Trump.
It's who he is. And he's America first. And I know that. I feel it. I know it. I'm secure in that. And that's the first time probably in my adult life that I've been secure in the fact that my president is America first. So
there's no question about it. No question.
So I'm okay with that tweet. I am. I'm okay with it. I don't know about you guys. Your mileage may vary, but I'm okay with it.
Well, people are always like, Mock is a closet rhino because I actually do criticize when I think that criticism is warranted because I'm not a sycophant.
No, because there's a ton of people who didn't like it. There's a ton of people who hated it. I get it. I watched it.
But still love Trump. Like, I can love Trump and also recognize when I think that he messed up a little bit. I don't know why that's so hard for people, but it always will be. There's people in our audience who are just like, you can't ever say a bad thing about him ever.
I think I just expect him to not be the norm. I expect him to, at this point, I expect him to not be like presidents past. He's going to be who he is. And I'm like, that's cool.
Authentic.
Just keep doing a good job, man. Just keep doing it. You know?
Yeah, he's definitely not Biden, which the weirdest clip about him came out on Twitter over the weekend. This is from, God, when was it? 2015. He was talking about being Obama's VP and how it was super important to him that as Obama's VP, he was going to be the last person in the room for decision making. Like that was a big deal to him. Mm-hmm. And listen to what he said. It was as if there was a self-fulfilling prophecy happening. This was going around over the weekend, and you'll see why as soon as you hear what he said. This was crazy. Again, 2015.
And so he said, well, what do you want? I said, two things. One, to be able to completely be level with you and argue with you if we disagree privately. And secondly, I want to be the last person in the room on every major decision. And I didn't mean it figuratively. I meant literally. To be the last person in the room. He's president. he gets to make the decision, and unless there's an overwhelming disagreement on principle, in which case I develop prostate cancer or something and leave.
What? What in the world was that?
That was crazy. Crazy.
I mean, was that a self-fulfilling prophecy, or was that he knew, or like what is happening there?
I don't know, but that's really why somebody found it, and that was spreading like wildfire on Twitter. And I was like, what are the chances?
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
totally bizarre. Another thing that we watched this weekend was a documentary on the whole killing of Osama bin Laden, right? What was it? And like, I can't remember the year that he was killed. Now I can't remember. I think it was,
I don't either.
I don't remember the year, you guys. I can't. It took them like 10 years to kill him. So I think it was, I don't know. Anyways, I can't remember. But when they killed Osama bin Laden, you know, they showed like the whole, like all the guys that were in the room and Hillary, and they're all in there and they're doing the thing. And Biden didn't want to do it. Like he was like resisting at first. Yeah. And it just shows you like how crappy he is at all this, you know?
He's always been wrong on every foreign policy decision. He's always been wrong.
Right.
Always.
He's so bad at this.
Who was the guy that said you could always count on Biden to F things up?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember who it was.
Because that had to do with foreign policy, like the way that his decision making on foreign policy is always wrong, and that was what he touted as his most, you know, his highest level of qualification was in foreign policy.
Right.
And look at what happened while he was president. My God.
Yeah.
Everything fell apart.
I think the name of it is it. I don't know.
It was Obama.
Obama said it. Obama said it.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? It was just, it was
Amazing.
an interesting documentary. I honestly don't remember the name of the documentary, but it's on Netflix. And my husband and I were watching it this weekend. It was fascinating because, you know, the lady in the Zero Dark 30 or whatever that movie is, that is kind of the reenactment of what happened when they went in and they shot him. She's in it and she's like darked out because she doesn't want to show her true identity. And so she's talking in it. There's a lot of other people, just a lot of the key players in that. It was really cool. I'll have to find out. It's on Netflix. When I find out the name of it, I'll tell you guys tomorrow.
Well, speaking of Obama, he and Michelle went to a Bruce Springsteen concert, and Michelle was on stage with Bruce Springsteen, and Obama was very, very proud. And he was like, how cool is my wife? We're supposed to think that's really cool. Do you think it's cool?
It's a big club. It's a big club of people who think they're cool. It's like high school, right? And it's like, no.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like the kids who thought they were really cool in high school and they're still like living in the same town. And you're like, you're not cool anymore. Who's going to tell them?
Yeah. Those were your glory days.
Yeah.
You're not in your glory days anymore.
You're not. So take all the seats because nobody thinks you're cool anymore.
Kamala recently made an appearance in which she told the audience, by the way, there's a clip from the same, I don't even know who the interview is with, but I just saw it this morning. I didn't include it. But Kamala actually says that whole I eat no for breakfast thing again. And I'm just like, does she have any... She just has like the standard playlist.
Like
you know
10.
What I mean?
She has like 10 things that she says on a list, and she just keeps saying those things over and over
and that's
again.
all she has. It's like she has a very limited menu. And beyond that, she has no thought.
Maybe she's a robot. That MFR isn't real. maybe it's a bad robot.
Oh my God. But she does want everybody to know that she is currently unemployed.
This work is ahead of you for sure, 100%.
I am unemployed right now. No one must speak truth.
You gotta speak the truth, you guys.
For once. Yeah. But we pay for her, right? We continue to pay for her. We will.
Well, yeah, I think we always will since she was vice president.
Right. We'll always pay for her, and we'll pay for her security. We'll pay for her retirement. You're welcome.
Enjoy.
Right.
There's still lots and lots of talk. Jake Tapper and his co-author of whatever the book's name is, they're still going around all the talk shows, and there's still a bunch of folks on the left who are either making excuses or justifying or trying to distance themselves from their own culpability in this whole process.
No, we didn't. No.
One of those people is Sam Harris, who considers himself to be an elite intellectual. And this guy, instead of admitting and owning that he is a power hungry liar, like so many Democrats are that wanted to keep Biden in power, he is trying to play it off like he genuinely didn't know, you guys. And so this is the choice that lefties are having to make. They are having to choose between showing that they're idiots and wanting us to know they're so stupid that they couldn't see what all of us could see, or they can choose to own it and be like, yeah, I was part of the cover up and here's why. Sam Harris is choosing to look like an idiot.
It's at least intelligible to say, okay, he's not a good communicator. He was never a good communicator. He's only getting worse, right? You can't reliably stick him in front of a microphone and trust that something good is going to come out of his mouth. But the truth is that when you sit with him and deliberate about the war in Ukraine or anything else, he is compos mentis. He clearly understands the issue as well as he ever did. He just doesn't. He's just not a fluid speaker, right? And less and less fluid by the hour, right? That is neurologically speaking, that is an intelligible claim to make about a person. That's what I assumed was true.
Okay.
That because of how effective this cover up was, I no longer believe that to have been true, right? I think it's quite possible that he was just checked out to a degree that I did not suspect at the time. I want to.
You
How
actually
did you not suspect it?
that guy. I mean, because he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's like, I'm super intellectual. I'm really above you, and neurologically, shut up. Just shut up. Okay, you're a dumbass, and we all know it. We know you're a dumbass. Just stop. You're not elitist. You're not intellectually superior to all of us. We're smarter than you are.
Or he's a big fat liar. I mean, that's what I think about his
A lot
case.
of these people.
He's trying to say the cover up was so effective. No, it wasn't. Every person with eyes and ears saw exactly what was happening. You guys just wanted to be part of the cover up.
Or
You were
maybe
part of it.
Or maybe some of these people really are that dumb, Mary.
Oh my God.
I mean, I think Jake Tapper he was part of the cover up. But I think some of these people really are stupid. Why else would they be liberal?
Well, I think they're power hungry, and those closest to him definitely were power hungry. One of his aides, I think his name is Lovett. I don't know if it's John or Joe or Jim or
John.
John.
He's the one on Pod Save America. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he essentially admits, well, yeah. I mean, if the choice was going to be between Trump and Biden, it didn't matter if Trump or if Biden was like a legit corpse. I was on board.
This is something Joe Biden can overcome. But I'm not going to go so far as to say, I think Joe Biden must drop out. If Joe Biden is the candidate, I want him to fucking win because I care about the country. It's about being honest about Joe Biden's age as a liability while knowing that if he is the nominee, I want to be clear that I thought it was important to make sure we did everything we could to reelect him.
And Jon Stewart said nothing. He just said, right. He didn't push back or anything. So it was basically win at all costs. It doesn't matter what we do. And then screaming all the people about democracy. What a bunch of freaking hypocrites. Jon Stewart said nothing to that guy. Can you believe that?
I totally believe it. Totally believe it. And then all the same people who are mad about how Elon was part of Doge and he's unelected and nobody elected Elon. Yeah. Nobody elected the aides that were essentially running the country
and
for the last 4 years.
And Hunter the crackhead and Jill, who were basically running the country. I mean, these people they were projecting all of their crap on us. And then Jon Stewart would laugh about it. Like he'd get on and he'd talk about Trump, laugh about people in MAGA. How dare you? I mean, what a complete coward that guy is for not pushing back on what actually was a threat to democracy. Those people. Yeah. That's what they were doing. Oh my God. It's unbelievable.
both Jake and what's the other guy's name? I just can't.
Are you talking about John Lovett? John Lovett?
No. The other author, Jake Tapper.
Oh, I don't know. I don't care. I don't care what
Alex.
his name is.
I think it's Alex.
Yeah,
I just don't want to save that in a file.
No,
you know
I'm
what
not.
I mean?
I don't care enough to know.
Anyway, they were both on with Piers Morgan, and Piers asked Jake directly, "Do you owe Americans an apology for your role in this?" And here is what that sleazeball said back.
Case. Do you feel that you owe the American people an apology for slightly dropping the ball with this, and not just to Lara Trump?
I feel like I owe the American people an acknowledgement that I wish I had covered the story better. I think in order to regain trust, that there is something that we can do when we fall short, and I'm acknowledging it.
Yes.
That's
Hashtag
the best you could do.
grifting dickweed. Hashtag grifting dickweed. That's what you are.
It just, I mean, imagine us and all the other conservative media folks who were saying exactly what's what forever. And we're not the ones with the book deals.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Nope.
It's Jake freaking Tapper that's going to make millions off of this.
He's going to make millions. Yeah. Millions. Yep. And he gets rewarded. He gets rewarded for not doing his job. It's unbelievable, isn't it? God bless America. And then they'll diss America and say, this is a terrible place. Down with capitalism. Bitch, please. That's literally what he's doing. He's capitalizing on what we all knew. And he ignored it. He suppressed it. He made fun of it. Unbelievable.
And then one of the people that lots of folks suspected were behind the scenes in terms of running the country. What's her name? Is it Susan Rice? Is that her name?
Yeah.
We're about to see a clip of her. She is now in the midst of all of this hullabaloo about the cover up. She is now trying to shift the focus to Trump's not reading the presidential daily briefing. Like this is somehow like a huge, enormous deal, and everybody needs to be talking about it. Listen to the outrage in her voice about something that is utterly, for all intents and purposes, meaningless.
It's been recently reported, David, that the president of the United States, who's been in office well over 100 days now, has only received the presidential daily briefing, the most important, highly classified daily intelligence briefing, some 12 times, some 12 days of his 100+ days in office.
Oh my God.
What is he doing if he's not reading the PDB?
What is he doing?
And I hate to say this, you could say it about the airplane, you could say it about Signalgate, you could say it about so many different things. But if any other president had refused or opted not to receive the presidential daily briefing from the intelligence community on a regular basis, it would be a huge, huge scandal with massive investigations in Congress and huge speculation that the president is not playing with a full deck.
It's outrageous, isn't it? I mean,
God.
The absolute projection. I cannot handle any more gaslighting. I can't.
I know.
It takes everything in me. I have to say to myself, Daisy, just lower your blood pressure. I have to when they gaslight like this. It's because that's exactly what it is. Because I will say all the words about that biatch. How dare she? They had a dude like Weekend at Bernie's propped up. He was a freaking cadaver. They were propping him up. And then they used an auto pen. And she has the audacity to ask, what is Trump doing? F you, lady.
Or say that he's not playing with a full deck. The reason he probably doesn't need to get the PBD or whatever every day is because he's actually meeting with his cabinet. He actually has meetings with them on TV where we can all see he is getting updated all the time. Biden, I guarantee you, he never read a single briefing. The guy was asleep.
He can't read. Oh my God. Are you kidding? He couldn't read. He was napping. Plus, Trump, not only does he do all the things that you just said, but then he tells us about it.
Right.
He's super transparent. Every day we're hearing either in a tweet or he's in person telling us on television, this is what's going on. This is what we've done today. This is what's happening. If we don't hear it from him, we hear it from Caroline Leavitt. She's not reading from some freaking binder. She's telling us exactly what's happening if he's not doing it himself. Most transparent presidency in history. That woman can suck it.
Well, and then friggin' Jasmine Crockett is now questioning Trump's mental acuity when with Biden, it was never even a thought. Never even a thought. Here's a little before and after with
Part of the
Jasmine
job.
Crockett.
It is time for Republicans to start calling him out and start questioning his mental acuity and whether or not he is equipped to serve mentally.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. You know, people tried to talk about the mental acuity of Joe Biden, and as someone who was able to interact with him, I never questioned his mental acuity.
Well, you have problems.
Never questioned.
If you never questioned it, then you are, in fact, I want to say the word so bad. You have problems. You have problems with your own intelligence. If you couldn't see that he had mental issues, then something is wrong with her. This is all deflection, is what it is. This is what they're doing. Like they're like, okay, well, we've been caught. We've been caught trying to prop this guy up for another 4 years, in addition to the years that he was already in office, and he wasn't even in office. It was a whole like cabal of other people running the country, which is the biggest scandal in American history, right? Like that should be investigated by Congress, and heads should roll. Like yesterday, that should happen. But then now she's like, okay, we need to make sure that we deflect. So let's talk about Trump's mental stability.
I just can't.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Like they will stop at nothing.
Absolutely nothing. It's true. And now because Jerry Connolly passed away, Jasmine is now hoping that she is going to be the head of the oversight committee. And she, in the middle of this interview, when the interviewer is asking her about that, she totally pulls a Peter Strzok and does the like creepy little shimmy. Remember that he did?
Yes, I do.
It's so unnerving. So I made sure to include the clip of him doing it so you can see like the compare and contrast.
Haunt my dreams.
But the problem with her potentially running the oversight committee is that she's already saying out loud that if the Democrats take back the House, which is possible in 2026, that she, as the head of oversight, will do nothing but spend her time investigating Trump. I mean, she's already saying it. It's all going to be the same bull crap that they've always done.
Well, good luck with that, Texas.
They act as though the fact that there are investigations now into some Democrats is somehow lawfare, when it's simply we're just making sure that nobody is above the law, which is what they spouted forever.
Yeah, and she represents people in Texas.
Yeah,
now she has constituents in Texas that she needs. This is the thing these people forget about. They don't do anything for the people that they actually represent. When I say they, a lot of these liberals, they just don't give a crap about them. She doesn't care about the people.
No, she cares about power. That's
right.
all.
That's all she cares about.
She cares about it like this.
We should talk about her mental acuity, right?
Also, I do think that one of her lashes in this clip is like halfway off.
Oh my God, we're gonna totally look at everybody's
I totally enjoy that. Yeah, look for the shimmy and look for the lash.
Democrats take over after the midterms next year, the House and or Senate. Do you think they're going to push for investigations into Trump's family and the whole crypto acquisitions that he is getting?
Well, Alex, I'm glad you asked.
Oh my God, it's so creepy.
It's so creepy.
Oh
my God, he's the devil. Oh God,
and there's more.
Here we go.
Listen, so long as we end up taking the House, which I fully anticipate that we will do, and we are going to work hard to obviously help our Senate colleagues as well, then as someone who serves on the Oversight Committee and hopes to lead the Oversight Committee, I can guarantee you that we will do what we are supposed to do as constitutionally sworn members of the House, which means that we will conduct oversight. That means that we will investigate. We will look at whether or not this president himself has violated the emoluments clause.
Did you make a little news here? Didn't you say you hope to lead that committee?
I absolutely do. Unfortunately, we are going to lay our dear colleague, Jerry Connolly, to rest here on Tuesday. And there will have to be an election to determine who is going to lead the Oversight Committee. And ultimately, I am hoping and praying that my colleagues see that I can provide what we need as a team to make sure that we can move forward and instill some confidence in the American people by knowing that they have a real fighter who will not back down, even in the face of all the threats that I will have waged at me. Because Lord knows I get death threats every single day.
Oh my God. Can you
Girl,
imagine?
I'm not even confident that you have the right lash glue. People can't be confident in your abilities. Like you need to tie that down. Tie it down. Get that taken care of. Handle it.
Handle it.
Exactly. It's all I could look at. It was like a runaway spider on her face.
I know. It was very distracting. Very, very distracting. I mean, the clip that we played before that one where she's just like, I never had a reason to question Biden's mental acuity. There was just no reason for it. The people that excuse him are just so obviously ridiculous. And it's still happening even yet today. So Biden apparently was in an airport and he was carrying like a briefcase sized bag, and his worshipers, because he still has them on the left, look at what they say. Joe Biden is 82, a former president battling stage 4 cancer, yet he's still carrying his own bag through the airport. No complaints, no fuss, just humility. Still Scranton Joe, still leading by example.
I just can't. It's like,
what in the
should have
world?
thrown something in about corn pop, Chris. Come on.
I mean, this is
nauseating,
vile,
isn't it? It's nauseating. I mean, the guy was used by an entire party. He was used, Chris, by your party. It's gross. And they just keep going with it. They just want to keep going. They want to deify this guy. No, they're all a bunch of liars.
Briefcase. That's it. Like if he can't handle a briefcase, you know what I mean? This is not an Olympic feat, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
I can't.
Wow. I know.
The idolatry is just out. It's off the charts.
And listen, going back to Jasmine Crockett, if she's going to start, if she gets into that, God help us if they do win that off. If they get it, she gets in there and she starts going after Trump again. If they do more of that stuff, do you really think that that's going to help the party? More
the
of
Democrats, you mean?
Yeah, if they do more of let's go after Trump, let's go after Trump, let's do this lawfare stuff, let's go. If they do more of the lawfare bullcrap that we saw before Trump got reelected, I mean, do you really?
No, I think I think that will happily be worse for them.
Right. So yeah, it will not end well for them. It just won't. They will not stop with this stuff.
I know. They just don't learn. They don't learn from their losses.
They don't learn that they are elected to do a job for their constituents, and they're not doing it, which is one of the big reasons that they're losing.
Yeah. So we can't let a show go by without mentioning Scott Jennings. And he was at a dinner, I think, giving a talk of some sort where he told the story about meeting Trump. And I thought it was such a good story that everybody needs to hear it. Here he is.
Talk about President Trump for a few minutes. Actually, let me just tell you a quick story. I actually met him for the first time in February. It's funny, he's dominated almost my entire professional existence for the last decade and all my conversations. But I hadn't met him until February. So I went over to the Oval Office to pitch him on a book idea, which I'm happy to report is now available for pre-order. The Revolution of Common Sense is the title. If you have $30, there it is. You can pre-order it right now. Why aren't you pulling out your phones? I don't understand. If Tim Walz can do it, you can do it. Pull out your phones. Put as many zeros as you'd like in the quantity box. So I go into the Oval Office to see the president. I hadn't been in there since 2008 when George W. Bush was in office, so open the door. Almost the entire cabinet is in there. I walk in and he looks up from the Resolute desk and he says, "You look terrific." I mean, you look good on TV, but in person, you look terrific. Have a seat. So I plop down on the couch next to Scott Bessent, the Secretary of the Treasury. Does everybody here know Scott? He's like our best guy. Scott, tell Marco what you would do about the Panama Canal. If you have $30, you can read the rest. To be honest, Scott was a little bit average, but then I came along and now he's terrific.
Oh my God, I love it.
The whole time I was sitting there, I was thinking, I don't know who in the hell was running the country the last 4 years, but I sure as hell know who's running it right now.
That's right.
That's right. We totally know.
There's no question about it now. And if you missed it on our social media platforms, which you should be following us on all the things, chicksontheright.com/links, then you missed that Eric F., who has babified us before, he did it with a clip from our interview with Scott Jennings. And it is so cute. And so it's on our socials. You can see it everywhere. But here it is for those of you who haven't seen it yet. You guys, I know everybody's just as excited as we are to have Scott Jennings.
I have to purr. Every single time.
She has to purr because I can't do it.
This is you all are terrific to have me on, and I just have to say, I hear from people all over the country almost every day. Do you know these amazing women on the Chicks on the Right? They're playing your clips. They're talking about you again. They're purring about you. I'm like, I don't know them personally, but I feel like we have this cosmic connection, and and so this engagement's been a long time in the making, and I'm very grateful to be here and for everything.
So happy to have you. And after today, you can say I personally know them. We're like BFFs now.
That's right.
So there you go. Yeah. I swear. I swear. He's like the cutest little kid.
Oh my God. So cute.
Yeah.
I just love that so much. Love it.
Really cute.
All right. It's time for some fun stuff, some My Pillow Toks. So Josh Seitzer, who's that guy that does the he pretended for a long time to be a trans woman. And now he's currently pretending to be a transracial Black man. And so he's released a new video of his experience. He is clearly mocking the ever-loving crap out of that Lily Tino guy, that one that's constantly going to restaurants and just waiting to be misgendered.
Yes.
He's totally making fun of that dude, and this is perfect.
I was left out of Starbucks, and I'm literally trembling right now. When the lady took my order, she asked me for my name, and I explained to her. I used to be called Josh, but I was assigned the wrong skin pigmentation at birth, and I go by Javante now. And she was like, I didn't need to know all that. I just need a name. And I was like, excuse me, bigot? You don't care that I'm Black? And she was like, no, I don't. And I was like, oh, so now we're just openly transphobic at the Starbucks drive-thru. That's how you're doing business now. And it's like, I can't even enjoy a cafe mocha without being systematically erased. It's like, why do these people hate us so much? Like, they literally just hate us because we're trans. Just be kind, people. How hard is it to just be kind? So, anyways, I ended up calling the corporate office and I got her fired. They said she was like a working mother of 2 or whatever, but I don't care.
Just be kind, you guys.
Just be kind. I got her fired.
Just be kind. I got that single mother fired. She's now jobless, but just be kind.
That's so totally mocking Lily Tino, and I love him for that. Love him.
Me too.
It's been a while since we've had a clip from Useless Farms, but if you remember Useless Farms, the Useless Farms lady, this gorgeous woman who has like a whole crap ton of farm animals that are useless, one of which is an emu that is a bitch. It's Karen the emu, who is constantly injuring her. So she has put together a compilation of the injuries that she has sustained due to Karen. And it is quite a list.
To admire Karen's most recent work in the mirror every day for the last few days, I thought that maybe it might be fun to take a look at Karen's portfolio. You know,
I can't.
For old time's sake. Okay, so what do we got here? A couple kick bruises. Kick, bite, kick, bite,
my God.
Kick, concussion, kick, bite, and kick.
And then, of course, today's masterpiece, which she's
Oh, I hate that animal.
proud of,
I'm sorry.
as you can tell.
Awful.
I
Don't
just
mind her. She's just still a little bit mad that she never got the forbidden grape.
I mean, guys, you know how much I don't like emus and ostriches. They freak me out. If that thing did that to me, I'm sorry, it would die, you guys. It would die.
After the first kick,
After
that
the
thing would be
first time,
done.
It would meet my Glock. It would never, ever, ever do that again. I'm sorry, not sorry.
And she just takes it like over
Yeah.
and over and is constantly having to strangle her, like to just protect herself. Oh my
She's
God.
better. She's a better person than me because that thing would die.
She's awful.
I would
awful,
Christy
awful.
Noam the crap out of that thing. Uh-huh.
And lastly, we have a voiceover of monkeys.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for meeting me on such short notice. Really appreciate it. Jerry's been on my back all day. Come monkeying around. Come on, do the monkey. Say, Jerry, you're sneaking like that. I'm telling you. He's got cameras all over these woods. Jerry. No, I probably shouldn't have taken all that pre-workout today. No, I didn't even work out. Is that all you got? You holding out on me? Jerry, you never tell me.
You and your monkeys.
The voiceover was so good.
They creep me out too, Scoop. They totally creep me out. I'm not a monkey person. Yeah.
All right, we do have some thank yous to get to. One from yesterday, I believe, from Danielle Taggy, who said, "Be proud, Texas. This is amazing. God bless you both. Looking forward to a fun week waking up with the chicks. For now, honor the fallen. This is precious, and every school should do this. God bless you both." And then there was a TikTok of some kindergartners singing the Lee Greenwood song. And it was super cute. And when they got to like the Texas part, they like really yelled it super loud. It was really, really cute. Super cute.
That is super sweet.
And then over on locals, David C. Bow said, "As a veteran, I don't want to be thanked on Veterans Day because it's a day to remember the fallen. Don't thank us, thank them. It is not a happy day. If you think I'm a dick for feeling this way, then I guess you can just block me." Oh my God.
I'm going to block you.
David Bow, Navy vet and brother to a fallen Navy vet. I mean, listen, you do you. And I do thank you for your service, whether you want to be thanked or not. I mean, I just don't understand how anybody gets offended by being thanked for their service, regardless of the day.
Yeah,
I
agree with that. Yeah. We're going to be thankful. We're thankful for you every single day.
Yes. And also, we do remember the fallen and we do remember the reason for the holiday. We can actually do all those things at once.
Right.
No Woke 63 said, "Good morning. So I received my fast growing tree order and I thought I had ordered their BOGO special, but only received one. So I was very disappointed. I was not allowed to use the Chicks code either. The bush that came is beautiful though." Okay, you need to send an email because they make stuff right. Anytime there's ever a problem with any of our sponsors, you guys, send an email to chicksontherightrule@gmail.com and they will make it right. Absolutely. If you didn't get the order that you thought you were supposed to get, they're going to make it right. So you don't have to send us money to say that. You can just send us an email and we'll make sure that you get taken care of.
It's very true.
Now you.
Colleen, some vets get upset because we already feel guilty on Memorial Day for still being alive when our brothers aren't. Thank yous add a tinge of guilt and feel like involuntary stolen valor. I think you addressed that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but I still appreciate you, whether you like it or not.
Exactly. Colleen, you have a good point, though. Our fallen wouldn't want us to be upset all day. We'll try to do better for them and for the country. I mean, it's just, we love you and we're grateful for all of you. Robin Dye, mea culpa. I lost my cousin in Vietnam. It matters. Memorial Day is for those we cannot thank for their service.
Okay. Of course it is.
Deb St.
And
Pierre.
we acknowledge that.
Thank you so much for that super sticker. Robin Dye. Yes, Colleen, it's involuntary stolen valor.
Oh my gosh, please don't make other people feel guilty for being alive.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Teresa Raimundo, I watched all your shows last week on the replay because I was working at Fort Bragg. I'm back right on time today. Yay. Thank you, Teresa. Avatar Ashkenazi, French speaks Arabic. Support Gaza, and Macron getting bitch slapped just goes to show that French people have the spine of a jellyfish. Teresa Raimundo, the Republicans crushing this bill are ridiculous. Nick Freitas has a view on this. The lawmakers come to rid our system of dragons, and once they get in, they become dragon conservationists. Rid us of the dragon already. Yeah, they get in the hot tub. We have a hot tub. Yeah, we're all about the hot tub metaphor. So there's that. Teresa Raimundo, YouTube wouldn't let me say slay the dragon. Really?
What in the world?
You can't say the word slay on YouTube? Oh my God.
Slay, slay, slay,
Slay,
slay, slay,
slay,
slay.
slay, slay. Jake Carter, I don't think that foul was called on her. Looked like an illegal pick out of camera frame. You could even see the ref look back to check the number.
I don't even know what language you just spoke. So
yeah, you're speaking sports. Lori Weens, haven't checkmates in a while. Thank you, ladies, for oral you do. I think it's all. I think you're trying to say all you do to keep us informed about what's going on in our world. Hugs from Baby Daisy's doppelganger. Thank you. I don't know what that means
Baby
exactly.
daisies. I don't either.
I don't know what that means. Okay. Avatar Ashkenazi. Muslims declare that after they finish with children of Abraham, they're going after children of Jesus. Make no mistake, Christians are next. Oh, we know. We
Absolutely.
totally know. So many people are living in complete denial. Spider Gwench regarding Memorial Day. Husband's a combat vet and many fell. He lives with the visual and guilt. We know people's intentions are good. It's just a very hard day. I'm sure it is. Reba Henry, Daisy, it is starting right there in Texas, north of Dallas, where they're building that great big Islam compound. Yes, I think that Abbott has tried to put the kibosh to that. So hopefully that will not start spreading.
Yeah.
Ain't coming here. Anastasia, 63. Those kids would shit their pants going up against our military under Pete H. They're cowards who hide. I bet they like money, but hate capitalism. It is interesting how that works, right? Randy Craig, Tapper wants to regain trust. It's like allowing the admitted fox back into the hen house. What a bonehead. Very true, Randy.
Exactly.
Lori Weens, in reference to my baby Daisy doppelganger comment, I tagged you on my Facebook Insta. Okay, I'll have to look.
Oh, okay. If she tagged chicks on, I mean, you guys have to understand how much we get tagged in.
We get
and how
yeah, exactly.
hard it is to see everything.
It is hard to see
almost
everything.
impossible.
Right. In fact, my actual bio on my personal Daisy Writer account, it says I read my messages once every 10 years. That's what my bio says. So if I get tagged, or I don't always look at stuff.
And I don't read messages on Facebook or on Instagram. I can't. It's too much.
It's just too much. Yeah. Jose Rodriguez. Hey, it's me. Just take my money. Thank you, Jose. All right, we're bringing it in.
Thank you, everybody.
It's
It was a long
Tuesday,
show
you guys.
today.
It was. I can't believe it's Tuesday. It feels like a Monday, but it's a Tuesday, which is great. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.